Good morning. Welcome to one of my favourite spots. Usually come out here once a week, get my little nature fix. Oh, have a swim. The water's a bit cold at the moment, but it's super clear. Oh. So I just wanted to grab some sun, have a yarn. Oh, look at this, it's stunning. Sit up here. Jesus. I can't see what's up. What a beautiful day. It's just hit winter here on the sunny coast. It's going to be cold having a swim, but I'm looking forward to it. It's really nice to be out the bush and just feel like I'm a part of something far bigger than just myself in my little life, you know? Got a few mates coming out this morning. We're going to play some didgeridoo. So I might post some photos, some videos up. The boys having a play. But yeah, I just thought I'd jump on and have a bit of a yarn. Just trying to think of what's coming up for me lately. I think the biggest thing that's been coming up for me is how the masks that we all wear in this life, and how we've all cultivated these masks that we put on as we go through the day in different scenarios and different places, and they're all based on creating safety for ourselves and for the people around us, and just to be cautious that we need to really listen to what our intuition says about people, because the words are oftentimes a lie, not always, but it's a lot easier to lie through words, but you can never lie through body language or how you present yourself. I've had to deal with a few difficult people in the last few months who have kind of fallen out of my life, which is really nice. But the lessons I've learnt from that have been that I spoke my truth, I spoke what I saw, and they didn't want to see what I saw. In fact, I didn't really have to speak what I saw. I think it was just acted out within my truth, within my knowing, that, man, your body language is telling me a lot different to what you say you are. And for those that are astute and have the awareness, we see that stuff. We see that you're being inconsistent with how you act. We all have that power too. If you just listen carefully, if you don't look at the world through your own filters and your rose-tinted glasses, or something's coming up about, I like to call people whom portray themselves in one way but act a different way. For example, let's say what I would call a hypocrite, or someone who is all peace and love and dreadlocks and hairy armpits and no judgment and all this stuff, but they are the most judgmental people I have ever met. They are so not spiritual. They act like they are these awake people who have, because they do yoga and they stretch and they do breath work and all this stuff, but none of the stuff that they're doing is practical for them, because they're using it's all about their ego, about how the world perceives them for doing such a things. It fits them into a tribe, and within that tribe, these people will legitimize their ideologies and who they are as people and who they perceive to be. But I've hung out with these people a lot, and they are the most judgmental mofos I have ever met. I don't consider myself a hippie in any way, shape or form. I might be spiritual. I think we're all spiritual beings, but I don't put myself in a box of being spiritual. I don't dress spiritually. Like, I'm wearing my gym clothes out at the waterfalls. Like, I'm not wearing bloody Hessian pants and Hessian hats. Like, I'm still coming out here for a meditation. I'm still coming out here to be aware of the environment around me, but I don't have to dress that way. I don't have to put dreadlocks in my hair. But my belief systems are congruent with how I act in society. These hypocrites, if you don't look the way they look, they're the first to shun you. They got these big old barriers that they set up on anyone that doesn't look the way they think you should look. And I think to judge a book by its cover is only one part of the story. You can't judge a book by its cover, and you can't judge a book by who they say it is either. You've really got to sit and listen and read and find out a little bit more about the person before you can get the information about that person, who they really are. And you don't have to do it outwardly. You don't have to ask them questions. They will show you. They'll show you in the way they laugh too soon or laugh too long, whether they're anxious beings or whether they're highly judgmental. But all their judgment comes from their own self-criticism, And I say this while I sit here and judge them, I guess, in some way, shape or form, but I just think it's about building the awareness as to who we are as people and how we can live our truths. Life's about having fun, you know? Not about being serious and putting other people down so you feel bigger. Yeah, I've had a lot of people in my life that have been non-congruent, and I find it really difficult because I see their truth. And I can't comment on it. I've tried commenting on it in the past, and I just end up burning a bridge, losing a friendship. I don't judge them on it. In fact, I've kind of learnt now just to let them be. If I stand in my truth, it allows them to stand in their truth. That vibrates outwards, you know? When they stand in their truth, the people that they hang out with stand in their truth, and then we just kind of go forwards into the cycle. I think the biggest changes that are coming in this world come from the self first. And being who you want to be, not who others say you are. That's the big deal. We can't live our life based on what other people, how other people perceive us. We just need to live in our own strength. Life's so good. I've been through some really tough times. But I've grown so much from them. Honestly, I've never felt so strong in who I am as a person. I used to build who I was as a person on what I think other people want me to be and what other people have told me who I am. It's all bullshit. I look at it now and I go, holy shit, that guy thought I was that. But he thought I was that because that's how he sees the world. That's who he is. You know, we can only see life from our own experiences. And therefore, what you see in other people is usually deeply within you. And if there's something you don't like in someone else, it's probably because you see that in you and you don't like that. Or you've been that at some point. Or you have a tendency to be that way. Or there's something about that that's triggering you that makes you feel that way. But and it's really hard to have compassion when people are unloading all their ammo on you, saying that you're this and you're that, when they're the ones that are being sensitive and traumatized and victimized, and you're just being who you want to be and who you think you are, and it's upsetting them, you know, it's cutting them to the core. But they need it. They need to know the truth. But they don't need to know the truth. They don't need to be told the truth. They need to feel the truth from a core perspective, you know. They need to question, where am I coming from here? Is my perception on this person because he's really this way? Or am I building this narrative upon someone because it makes me feel safe as a person, you know? So, that's my thoughts on it. Take a look at this spot. So bloody beautiful. The sun's doing us some mischief. Yeah, so that's kind of my rant for the morning. I hope that helps. The hardest thing is your family, I think, to break the chains of old family trauma and things that have been taught to us. Look, if this doesn't resonate for you, then move on, who cares? But someone out there needs to hear this. The people are being tough on you, it's usually because of them. If they've made a narrative and they are pushing this narrative onto you, you can let them win and react upon that, or you can be productive and just stand on your own 2 feet. Be totally, authentically you. Who are you? In the words of some of the greats, know thyself. If you can truly know yourself, I think a lot of your problems will be solved. I think eventually when you start to intuitively stand on your own 2 feet and be your authentic self, you eventually, the bad people, they can't handle it, they drop out. And if you're scared of losing them, then it's fine, they're still going to be there, but their energy isn't going to determine how you're feeling. You have the power to control your energy. Are you going to react? Some guy's driving up your tail on the road? Or are you just going to chill out? Let him be a dickhead behind you. You know? Are you going to stick your finger up at him and make him more angry? Or are you just going to fucking not worry about him? Turn your rear vision mirror down. Fucking chill out, enjoy yourself, enjoy the drive, smell the roses, look out the window, check out the trees, look at the birds flying past. You got the power. You have the power. And I speak of this from my own experiences. I used to be so lost. So lost. Lost in everyone's perception of me, all my friends. I used to be in friendship groups and they didn't serve me. It just felt toxic. I felt like the odd sheep. But deep down I knew who I was, and they were trying to suppress me through different narratives and different rubbish, you know, like make fun at you and do all sorts of stuff. Boy, I've been through some friendship groups in my days. Heaps. I'm not scared to change. I'm here in this world alone, walking on my own 2 feet. I've got a great supportive friendship group, but it's still me. It's all me. It's always going to be me. I don't need support from the government or from family or, you know. My intuition will guide me, and I know that, and I have faith in that. And so I walk one step in front of the other, knowing that I can walk across uneven rocks and not slip over, you know? I can sit in the shade and know that it's cold, but I know the sun's coming back out again. So yeah. Little bit of intuitive guidance this morning. I love it out here. There's so many beautiful plants and animals. The water's crystal clear. It's clean as. The air's beautiful. There's barely any humans. Not that I don't like being around humans. Here's another thing that's just come to me, I find, and it's a little bit judgmental in my own way, but I just find that these people that have born these narratives within these spiritual environments, and they will hang out with other people that have exactly the same thought process as them, just to justify their means of being and who they are and who they think they are, you know, who they want to be, instead of hanging out with people that are different. Hang out with some old folk, learn what they've got to teach you. Everyone's got something to teach you, no matter who they are. They've all got lessons. We've all got the insights within us. And everyone that comes into your life has something for you. Even if they come in and they absolutely traumatize you for months on end and they gaslight you and they treat you like a piece of shit and they bully you, it's teaching you resilience. It's teaching you how to be strong and stand on your own 2 feet and how to create boundaries. You know, there's lessons in everything in life, and it's up to you. Do you want to learn the lessons that God has for you, or the universe has for you, however you want to put it? Or are you going to continue reacting to everything that happens to you? All right, peace out. I'm going for a swim.
See ya.